That's both incorrect, Your Honor.
All right, well,
Respectfully.
stop interrupting me. You left this place in deplorable condition.
We had 3 days.
Welcome to Bench Report Court Cam.
All right, next is Benjamin J. Thompson versus Michaela Baker and Gabriel Houghton. They are here. This is also filed as a demand for non-payment of rent with the complaint for supplemental damages. How much is the due in rent?
If you just give me 1 second, I'll flip over my paperwork here.
I'm going to ask you that question every time. How much is rent? How much is utilities? And then we'll calculate court cost.
Okay, I included a list of expenses and receipts as well as the rent. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to go through it here.
All I want right now is the rent. You filed this as a demand for non-payment of rent. If they paid their rent, they would get to stay there.
Okay. Back monies owed for rent was $1,037.50.
Through when?
That was a couple months ago. I guess it would have been through February, Your Honor. So they basically got 1 month behind on rent, but then in addition to that, once they moved, we found a bunch of damages, and so those were listed in the list of expenditures.
All right, well, this is filed as a demand for non-payment of rent. We haven't got to the damage part yet. You did list waste management, container removal, liquidated damages, Ashley cleaning and painting, $650, painting supplies, $49, back rent, $1,087. So what you're asking for is $3,756.18.
That's the total of the damages, as well as the receipts. I also provided pictures there as well.
All right. We'll have a hearing regarding that, but we're not there yet. This is the possession hearing.
Understood.
Now, Mr. Houghton and Miss Baker, it looks to me these pictures are terrible.
And
make me want to get out of the landlord business.
We only have 48 hours to get out as well.
Tell me about that.
I was going to be going to work that morning. We got a call from them. Was told to get out. I had called my cousin up. We had got a truck and we had moved everything out. The damages, I apologize for. Most of it was because of how narrow the hallways were when we would move furniture. Scuffs and whatnot would get on the walls. We moved everything out and gave him back the keys.
Did you give your forwarding address?
Yes. To a text message.
All right, here's how it's supposed to work. Your landlord doesn't call you up and say, hey, you got 8 hours to move.
Yeah.
Your landlord serves a notice to quit on you that says you have 30 days to pay the rent or move. If you don't pay the rent, then he sets a hearing before me, the first initial hearing, which is what this is. Then the law says you get 7 days from that day to have a second hearing to either try to get some financial assistance or some legal assistance. If legal aid was here, they would be having a field day with Mr. Thompson's failure to follow the law.
Sir,
at any rate, then you would have 10 days from that day to move, or you would be subject to being evicted. So in both of these cases, the tenant represents they were given less than 30 days notice to move.
They're both incorrect.
Now, by the same token,
that's both incorrect, Your Honor.
All right, well, stop interrupting me. I'll give you a chance to speak. This is their version. Anyway, they moved out. So again, the possession is unaffected and it's dismissed.
Respectfully, sir, that you have the notice to quit as well, the 5-day and the 10-day. And before that, we also received calls from both the city of Three Rivers due to the fact that there was issues from tenants that they let move into there that was against their lease. The people that moved into there prior to that, I'm surprised they haven't mentioned this at this point, Miss Baker and Mr. Baker. That,
Well, you didn't file a termination of tenancy. You filed a demand for non-payment of rent.
I did. However, the people that were there and damaging, which they haven't mentioned, they basically let move in with them. So the damages were accumulated from both of these people. There were more than 4 or 5 kids living there at the time.
Well,
that I found out.
I don't. They trashed your nice apartment. These apartments above the stores are very nice, and I didn't like looking at this. It looks like somebody treated it like they didn't care at all. So I don't like it. But you didn't file a demand to terminate tenancy. You filed a demand for non-payment of rent. So if they had paid the rent, they would have actually been able to stay there.
And
So they had already vacated by the time you filed this, I think. But I'm going to give you your hearing regarding money damages. We'll take testimony under oath regarding how much damage there was. We'll apply the security deposit and add court costs and hear what they have to say. But this isn't the time for that. We'll try to set both of these for a damage hearing at the same time.
Understood.
Your Honor,
Yes?
he did give us paper to where he said if we paid rent within 7 days, we would be able to. And we had the money to pay that Friday. I let him know that we would have the money on Friday to pay. That Friday, before the 7 days was up for the payment of rent.
All right, well, we'll explore that further at the damage hearing, but you left this place in deplorable condition.
We
We had 3 days.
yeah, we were out of there in a day.
The reason,
Well,
Oh, and I grabbed everything that was ours and we left.
sir, respectfully, the reason that they left was because that they were under conditions that they with the police when they got called out for a domestic abuse case, that they had issues with the tenants that they allowed to live there with them.
all right,
So
well,
so they said they said they left in 3 days due to that fact. By the way, they were calling me asking me what they should do to get these people out of their apartment because they let
who
them
were
in.
the other people that were in there?
They were friends of ours.
What are their names?
Carrie Haney, Isabella Clark, and I don't know Ben's name. I'm sorry.
So you let people move in, you don't even know their names. They help trash your landlord's apartment. There's going to be some significant money damages here. But we'll set that at a hearing. We'll block out at least an hour, maybe more, for testimony under oath and hear both sides' final story. But as far as possession goes, he already has possession back. So the possession case is dismissed and we will have a money damage hearing. We'll hear both sides under oath. All right. That will be set probably either before the end of this month or early April. All right, thank you. You're all good to go. Mr. Thompson, now
Yes,
could
sir.
use some legal advice here.
Yes, sir. I talked to Miss Richmond about this already. The last lawyer that I brought in there with you did exactly what you and I are doing right now. We went through the same headache, so it just wasn't worth it. If you got somebody that is worth it for me to actually make sense, then I'm happy to use them.
Well, you do have a right to represent yourself as long as this isn't a corporation or a limited liability. If it's just Benjamin Thompson, owner, you can represent yourself. But it's just, it might be worth it to have counsel. There are a number of attorneys that do this, and I can't specifically, but Ms. Richmond knows who's good at it and who isn't.
I understand. I'll
All
give
right,
her a,
but
I'll give
that's
her,
up to you. You do have a right to represent yourself, and maybe when you do more of it, you'll get better at it. But right now, we got some bumps in the road.
I
All
understand.
right, Mr. Gahosa, when we do this the next time, you can't come by telephone. And I expect everybody to show up on time. We're already late because I sat around for 8 minutes or 9 minutes waiting for Mr. Thompson to come. So everybody else is backed up too. So when we do this the next time, you need to have a video connection and you need to show up on time. So I'll see you at the next hearing. We'll do both of these on the same day for your convenience, Mr. Thompson.
Understood.
All right, thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Stick around longer and click the highlighted videos to your right. See you there.